Hello everyone and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer and today we're going to be going over all of the World of Warcraft and Blizzard news from the past week. Everything from new content in Battle for Azeroth to BlizzCon 2018. Let's catch up. And before I get into it, I want to quickly thank IBM's Call for Code for sponsoring today's video. Call for Code is an awesome initiative which challenges developers to outthink natural disasters and come up with creative solutions for people who need them the most. For more information on Call for Code, check out the video I made a couple weeks back. It'll be linked up here in the cards as well as in the info below. Thanks again to IBM's Call for Code. Diving right in, last week Blizzard released tons of new content for World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. The biggest thing being, of course, the first raid of the expansion, Uldir Halls of Control. This raid takes place in a quarantined Titan research facility where players must fight through 7 bosses to ultimately face off against the abominable blood god G'huun. There's tons of rewards for players to earn in Uldir, including, but not limited to, Titan-inspired transmog sets with weapons like Core Hammer of the Guardians and Glaive of the Keepers, as well as the Blood-Gorged Krog mount, which is a reward for Glory of the Uldir Raider achievement. In the info below, I've linked a Wowhead article which covers all of the rewards available in Uldir, so if you are interested in more, be sure to check that out. Aside from the raid, we also got 6 new world bosses, albeit not all at once, as well as an update to Mythic keystones. In Battle for Azeroth, Mythic plus 10 or higher dungeons will feature a 4th affix, which changes every season. This season's affix is called Infested. This causes mobs to become infested with Symbiote of G'huun, which heals surrounding mobs at a rate of 10% every 3 seconds. And on top of the new raid, new world bosses, new Mythic Plus changes, we also got an entirely new feature this week called Warfronts, which, as the name suggests, puts you in the front lines of battle to seize a crucial location for the Horde! Or the Alliance, I guess. If you've played it all this week, you know that Warfronts are a Horde or Alliance type thing. Now, Horde and Alliance will both get to experience it eventually, but the very first Warfront started out with the Alliance controlling the area, or battling for the area, I guess, while Horde does turn-ins, and once we've gotten enough resources turned in, we will do the Warfront, battle for the area, while the Alliance turns in, and it's gonna flip-flop like this all expansion. Well, I guess technically it might not be all expansion. They might do some sort of event that changes things. I don't know what Blizzard does. Don't ask me, ask Ian Hazacostas, okay? Anyways, according to Blizzard, Warfront should feel like a much more involved PvE situation than we've previously been in World of Warcraft, and it should be comparable to a real-time strategy. So if you are Alliance and you've done Warfronts, please let me know if you feel like they accomplished this in the comments section below. And if you'd like more information about Warfronts, as always, I've got links for you in the info section. Despite all of the new content, Battle for Azeroth has not been without flaws. One bug in particular caused quite a stir when it rewarded players with some loot that was overpowered as fuck. So to TLDR it for you, basically the very last week of Legion, the final week you could have possibly run Mythic Pluses, anybody who ran a Mythic Plus 10 received a piece of loot when Battle for Azeroth Mythic Pluses went live that was corresponding to Battle for Azeroth Plus 10 loot. So players were receiving loot that was between 385 and 400, when even the most hardcore dedicated players right now are like 355 at best. So with all of these guilds racing to complete Heroic Uldir before Mythic releases, to say that players with these god-tier pieces of loot had a slight advantage is an understatement. But the universe is in balance, and while Blizzard giveth, Blizzard taketh away. Pretty much as soon as Blizzard figured out what was going on, they hotfixed those items off and removed them from players who should not have had them, which was all players who had them. And I'm talking, there were players in the middle of Mythic Plus dungeons that's pants just came off. They were just pantless. Of course, as you probably expected, a handful of players were very salty and a bunch of players were very happy, but I'd love to know what you think of how Blizzard handled this bug, the unintended loot, and the consequential hotfix. Moving on from World of Warcraft stuff to Overwatch stuff, last month we learned that Atlanta and Guangzhou, China would both have professional teams competing in Overwatch League Season 2. Now we finally got a full roster of teams, including teams from Paris, Toronto, Vancouver, Washington DC, as well as 2 Chinese cities, Chengdu and Hangzhou. This bumps up the total number of Overwatch League teams from 12 to 20 going into the new season, which will certainly increase viewership. And considering that Overwatch League is already already the most mainstream esports venture, at least here in the US, more viewers can only stand to increase its popularity and pave the way for more leagues to enter the spotlight in the future. Just as a side note, Overwatch will be included in the October Humble Bundle for only $12, and it supports the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so if you're interested in that, I will have a link for you in the info below. Yet another Diablo rumor has emerged. Of course, last week we talked about a potential Diablo Netflix series, and this week we're talking about the Diablo 3 Eternal Collection for Switch being released the day before BlizzCon. Now, the reason we're talking about it, and you know, I'm calling this a rumor, but it's more like a leak because it is a leak, because Target leaked the release date as being November 1st. Get your shit together, Target! Even if Target hadn't full-on leaked the date, I don't really think it's surprising anyone considering that there's no real releases in November. We've got Mario Party in October and Super Smash Bros. In December, but conveniently nothing in November. A November 1st release date would also mean that Diablo would be a great stocking stuffer. People could buy it on Black Friday, get a video game, trample some kids. Everyone's a winner in this situation. And finally, guys, BlizzCon 2018 is right around the corner and the hype is real. BlizzCon 2017 was the most attended BlizzCon of all time, with over 35,000 people physically attending the convention, with millions more watching online. And 2018 is expected to break those attendance records both virtually and in person. While physical passes are already sold out, the virtual ticket hasn't even gone on sale yet. In fact, there's an all-access kickoff celebration going live Wednesday the 12th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'll have a link to it in the info below. The virtual ticket is super awesome. It gives you a front row seat to everything that's going on in BlizzCon, all of the stage events, all of the panels, all of the contests, the concert, everything. Plus you get access to all of that stuff for like months after the convention. You can fast forward, rewind, pause, do whatever you want. And you get all the digital goodies that you would get in-game as if you had actually gone. So I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you gotten the virtual ticket? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Would you recommend it? Because I've gotten it and I would totally recommend it. I think 10 out of 10 would buy again is worth, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. And that is it for this week's Ketchup, guys. If you want to learn more about any or all of the things I talked about today, as always, links to my sources are in the info section below. If you enjoyed the video, please thumb it up, leave a comment in the comment section, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Ketchup goes up every Sunday, and I stream Monday through Friday over at fb.gg/TradeChat. It's usually World of Warcraft Monday through Thursday, and virtual reality on Friday. I don't really know why I did like a finger gun and a half there. Like, I brought one knife. I brought one gun. This is the gun, not the knife. I brought one gun and one knife to a virtual reality fight. Okay, still bad at outros. Nothing has changed. I'm gonna go. Did I say something about my sources? Look at the sources in the info section. Leave me a comment. Thumb up the video. Subscribe. I'm embarrassed. I'm gonna go now. Keep on keeping on. Until next time, take care.